Welcome to a Friday Reads, where I talk about what I read, what I'm reading, what I hope to get to next, and it's a poofy hair day. It's been very humid, very rainy, and this is when I have to film this, so we're doing it, and that's okay. At least the hair's soft today. I am very excited to finish a book soon, though, because I think it's going to put me in a reading slump if I don't finish it very soon. I did read one book, though, since we last chatted. I've almost finished a book, and I've started something that I might finish. I have some ideas of where I want to go next. So yeah, let's just ramble. I got some books that I hold. I've been getting a lot of used books lately for reasons. It's happened, and it's made me excited. They're mostly book trophies. They're not like new books for the TBR. Not that it matters one way or the other. It's just how it is. And I have one gift for my friend Evie. So, book I finished. Happy Place. Actually, I can hold up my copy. Happy Place. I didn't read from this. I just read the ebook because that's what I do with contemporary romance. I like this. I didn't love this. I don't know how many more Emily Henry I'll try. My one friend is like, you need to try Beach Read, so maybe I'll try that. I truly didn't dislike this. It just didn't grip me the way I wanted to. Like, it felt like I've read contemporary romances that are this long and longer, and it felt this long. Like, I don't know. It just... Actually, how long is it now that I have it in front of me? Yeah, it felt like it was 400 pages, which is not really what I want. And I think part of that is that it's really tame in terms of its tension. Like, I really liked the tension, but then it never, like, had the follow-through that I wanted. One thing I think that is really good about it, to the point where, like, I won't let one of my friends read this, is I do actually think how it uses the friend group for tension is very accurate and good. It would just be really stressful for one of my friends to read. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the characters. I have no real complaints other than it didn't have the special sauce, and it felt a little long. Which, for me, I like romances because I am completely immersed, and I can't put them down, and I'm obsessed. And so, that just means that even though it's, like, a 4-star read, it's like, I don't know, I wanted to have something that completely consumed me, and this did not. And then sometimes I was really sad. I don't like to be too sad. Like, and I don't know what that means, because there are some of my favorite romances are really emotional and, like, make me in my feelings. But I think in this one, I don't know how to put my finger on it. And I think part of it is it's very reasonable for main characters to be like the love interests in this book. Those are real people. But I don't relate to either of them in those ways. So I also was like, okay, you guys are literally creating your own problems, which is fine, but it was really frustrating. Now, that said, I liked the second chance nature of it a little bit, so I probably should try more of those. I just, like, didn't like the flashbacks. That's what it is. I did not like the flashbacks. There it is. I really disliked the flashbacks. I'm trying to figure out why did it feel so long. It was the flashbacks. So in real time, we figured it out. The present day stuff I actually really liked. And if it had only been that, I think I would have been great. I really didn't like the flashbacks. It provided no additional tension to me. So, I don't know. Probably an unpopular opinion. I don't know. It's fine. It's good. Good book. I read it. So that was another one of my books on my list to read this year. So yay. Dragonbone Chair. Good lordy almighty, is it over yet? Who's to say? I am now very strongly, as I get more and more bored with this story, going to finish it, because I only have 2 hours left, and I have the live show this Sunday on Aaron's channel, and I would like to be there for that. I, though, do not think I will continue with the series, because boy, howdy, oh my, am I bored to tears. It's interesting in terms of, I see where A Song of Ice and Fire came from this. I see where Realm of the Elderling came from this. But both of those are just so much more intriguing and better. This is just so okay. It's so okay. And I don't get it. And then, like, that's why I started reading another book. Because I'm trying to, like, read another book that is also tropey, but, like, more my tropes to try and, like, see. Because I don't know, like, I just don't find the Simon character interesting. And I think there are poorly communicated world-building elements. Like, truly, I can handle complicated things. I read Malazan and things like that, and I understand what's happening. And I just think how the political intrigue or machinations are handled in this book are poorly done. They are not communicated well. Like, they're communicated, but I don't think it's effective, and I don't think it's smooth. I don't think it's engaging. Maybe that's more like it's obviously written on the page. And you know, if you take notes and you connect the dots and you go to the glossary, you probably can keep track of it. But like effective communication should make someone excited to do those things, not dreading doing those things. Like you're supposed to make it interesting. Like, why would I want to unpack that? So that part's reminding me a lot of Robert Jordan, and not in a good way. And so, yeah, it's interesting. But I unfortunately, I think I had read like 30% last week when I checked in with hopes that it would get better for me. And there are moments where I'm truly having an okay time, like a pretty good time, like a 3.5 star time. And then I'm not skimming, but if I don't know what's happening, I'm not necessarily reading backwards to figure out what I'm missing. I'm like, the book will tell me eventually, or it won't, and I will be fine because I don't care. I'm not invested. It's a bummer, but I'm not invested. Even with this, like the stakes are astronomical for this land, and I do not care. I do not care about these people. And actually what it's made me kind of want to do, like I think in my last series updates, I think it was one of my videos a couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to continue in this series, The Wolf. But all it makes me think of is how, like, I really liked the political stuff in The Wolf, in the world building in The Wolf, which is not too dissimilar to what was happening in Dragonbone Chair, at least politically speaking. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I will read The Spider. I don't want to read the second book of Dragonbone Chair, but now I'm kind of itching for this, because this was, like, fun for me. Like, it was enjoyable. I didn't know if I needed more. So, yeah, I just don't get it, and I wish I did. And I like campy things. I don't know why classic fantasy camp is not my bag, and I hate it. But I was even talking with Ryan, like so many video games, you know, like Skyrim and Elder Scroll and, even now Elden Ring and everything. It's just all like castles and dragons and it's like low tech. And I'm like, why is this aesthetically exciting to people? Because it's not to me. It's like the last thing I want is to be holding a sword. Like, I don't know. Like for me, my aesthetic, and I rightfully forced myself to like it, is Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, mix the two. Make it cool. Be blendy. Where's the mystery of the history? Like, I don't know. Like, I love that stuff. Which probably explains why I read and enjoy what I read and I enjoy, right? So, it's not that people are wrong for liking this type of aesthetic. I just wish I also yearned for the castles. But alas, I do not. Maybe it's because I read too much contemporary fantasy growing up between the magic schoolhouses and, Charmed and Buffy. Like, I was just in like, but what's interesting is you'd think someone who's consumed a lot of Charmed and Buffy, and I am currently rewatching Charmed, that I would have read any paranormal fantasy. I have not read like any urban fantasy. I only watch it, and I have a strong suspicion that reading it would just make me want to watch it because I just want the 43-minute episodes. That's all I want. And yes, they're like 43 to 44 minutes because I have watched a lot of them. Okay, but that did lead me to picking up Bridge Kingdom. I'm really not that far into this. Because this, I'm pretty sure, is going to be like... So if Dragonbone Chair is like, has the young adult protagonist boy who's really not that special, but he gets thrust into the mists of things and destiny and blah, 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 blah. So if that's like kind of an archetype of a young male protagonist, this is very much an archetype of a young female protagonist in that ilk. Not that this is young adult. This is not young adult. But she's like 19 or 20, and she's ruthless, and she's willing to do whatever it takes, and she's not like other girls. Like, it's not that extreme, but you know, the type. And like, I'm trying to like, also like meta, like pick apart, why does this work for me? Why is this intriguing for me? And I think part of it is this main character, has at least 10 brain cells so far. She had to think. Like, you meet her, you instantly are like, oh, you had a plan and you executed the plan. All right, I'm here. I'm ready to see what you do. And also, I like someone who's had to work for something. I like someone who's persistent. Like, for better or worse, a lot of the not like other girls tropes involve a girl who happens to be the best at whatever she's doing because she worked stupid hard to get there. Or maybe she got lucky, but there's still the patriarchy around her, so she's still got to do stuff. And I think that's more interesting for me to invest in and root for and relate to. So, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think if I'm like, you know, not a woman who's had to do that. Do I still find it interesting? And I don't know. I think competent characters are interesting. I do think they can't be good at everything. They have to be human-ish. But I do love a competent character. Who knows if she'll stay that way? I have no idea. I've read 2 chapters. But I'm already way more interested in this kind of basic fantasy world. I mean, even this. So the Dragonbone Chair world, kind of your standard continent where the north is probably representing Nordic history because there's always something coming from the north. Maybe this is the book that started the north thing, but I think it just historically speaking in Europe, there was just more raids from the north and stuff, I think. I'm not an expert. But it's just more of a continent that, actually, is it a continent or an island? I don't know. It's a land that is homogeneous, has a lot of tribes that don't feel different on page, and they got rid of the land from the indigenous people who are, of course, the elves or the fae type people. It's just whatever. It's standard. It's not that unique, and it's obviously based off historical stuff, which is a standard part of classic fantasy. This one at least has a cool bridge in the sky, and we're talking about trade and how trade affects people, and like it's still very basic. Like, oh, the king is going to be so mean to her. I'm sure it's not going to be that he's actually a secret teddy bear inside. I'm sure. Like, I don't know. But it's just, I just find that this is also so much shorter. Like this first book, half the length of the Dragonbone Chair, and I think that's part of it. If Dragonbone Chair was 400 pages or 350 pages instead of whatever nonsense I'm listening to, it'd be better. So I don't have actual opinions on this yet, but this is why I picked it up, because I was just like, for science, trying to challenge myself to understand why this camp works for me, or at least initially makes me excited, and the other camp bores me to tears. I haven't figured it out. It's a me problem. I truly wish I yearned for the castles, but alas, I do not, because I like heating and central air and window fans and ceiling fans. Castles are stone. I even when I went to Europe, like to visit, because I went to England, Wales, and Ireland, and I saw a lot of old castles and buildings, I was very bored. They are not interesting to me. I do not know why. So what I might also read next, though, is I think I'm actually finally in the right headspace. Well, I say that. I've been very sleep deprived, guys. Woo. My cats have decided to be like, so, do you want to get 3 hours of sleep tonight because I'm sick? They're fine now, I think. Poor Donna had a big fur ball. It caused some problems. And she's not, she's very dramatic when she has poop problems. So, but I think, the fur ball's gone and she's returning to normal. So I think we're good, but then it's a whole thing. But regardless, I am still catching up on sleep. But I did start reading The City in Glass before that all started. And I'm very excited. This is a cool main character. Vitrine, a demon of the city, when you first meet her, the way that Nevo sets the scene instantly, like, I know who this person is and I want to follow her. She's a demon, so she's mischievous. She's not, like, good canonically, but she's building something. She's planning for something. She's invested in this city, and I love investment in community. And so that's what she is. And then the end of chapter 1 is when the angels come to destroy the city. And I'm excited to keep going. But this is definitely like, I need my eyeballs for it. And I need to be in the right headspace. But I'm excited. I'm very excited for this one. I'm kind of really glad I have a physical copy. I bought this one in Boston at the Brookline Booksmith, but it's been a minute. So that's a potential. And then I just reacted to the Ignite Awards, which are one of my favorites, and a book that I already purchased for my indie bookstore crawl was on there, and that's Metal from Heaven, and I'm kind of curious about this too. It's so shiny. This, I think, is more steampunk fantasy, I think, because it definitely has to do with, like, industry. So whenever industry seems to be a part of fantasy theming, I always feel like it's probably steampunky, because obviously industry tech has to be adjacent. So I get arcane vibes. I don't know if that's realistic, aesthetically speaking, but that's what I feel, and it's a standalone. So, like, I'm excited to try that out potentially. So that's kind of where my head's at. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so tired. I have a friend coming to visit. Then I have a wedding to go to. So we'll see what I end up doing with myself. I think the last book on my TBR that I haven't touched yet is Invasion of the Spirit People. So maybe I will give that a go. And in the books that I have acquired. So Evie saw how much I liked But Not Too Bold, which, for those who want a reminder of what that looks like, it's this little spider novella that I read. And so sent me A Study in Ugliness and Otras Historias, which is the same author. And this is really cool. So if you're someone who reads Portuguese, this is a very cool translated work, because the page on the left is Portuguese and then it has the page on the right in English. And yeah, I'm excited to read this. I think it's going to be great. I just really liked their style. And actually, I'm fairly certain she translates her own works, but I guess I don't know for sure. I don't know if they tell me in any reasonable place. I don't like see a translator name, but that doesn't mean anything. But yeah, I'm excited about this. And then, like I said, I bought some book trophies. So the lessons. This is so good. And somebody else in my Discord picked it up and was like me and was like, yeah, this is awesome, because it's awesome. It's a very good book. It's so good. Just as like a recap for those who didn't hear my last Friday reads, this is taking place in the Virgin Islands. I think specifically St. Thomas Isle, but I'm not positive. Let's see. Does it actually tell me? U.S. Virgin Islands. Yup. Doesn't tell me specifically which one. But the author was born and raised in St. Thomas, I'm pretty sure. Regardless, we start off with our cast of character, our mosaic. They're flawed individuals, all of them kind of at like a pivotal turning point in their life for one reason or another. Some are children, like teenagers, some are adults, etc. And then these aliens come. And then we fast forward 5 years, and our characters have gone through their pivotal turning points, and aliens have happened. And we're just kind of seeing like conversations on colonialism, conversations on what do these aliens want, how to coexist with them, how much you should be bending, what are certain rights, and consequences for actions. And just, it's not that it has a plot, really. Like, it has a plot that in the sense that things happen, but it doesn't have your standard 3-act structure. So you're going to feel, I think, a little off-footed in terms of, like, knowing where it's going. I just let the characters wash over me. It kind of had this connected short story quality where each chapter I'm with a different character. And to me, these characters are so vibrant that's all I needed. I just loved looking at these people, seeing how they were responding, seeing where they were at. They were so captivating to me because they were fascinating people. It's just like having very interesting conversations with people and getting to know them. That's how this book felt. So that's my little shtick there. And I went to the half-price bookstore with some friends. And I don't always find anything I like there, just because their selection's always hit or miss. But they had Interference by Sue Burke. And I already had Usurpation, which is the third book. So then I get to the point where it's like, fine, I will go on Pango and see, because that's actually where I also got the lesson. I got this off of Pango, which is a used book store place you can get stuff from. I don't have like a store myself or anything, because I'm horrible at shipping out books. It just stresses me out to no end. So then I went on Pango because I'm like, my favorite in the series is Symbiosis. So now, and they're not all exactly the same types of printing, but they're at least the same height. I have my set. Like, I do not know why Interference is so much shinier than the rest of them, but they're the same height, and it brings me joy to have all my weird plant aliens together. Just makes me happy. So that's this Friday Reads. Let me know what you're reading, doing, watching. I'm hopefully making it out to Clevo this week. And when you're seeing this, I'm filming this kind of early because I have a friend coming in town, which will be exciting. So I can't film on Thursday very easily. And Wednesdays are literally hell right now. I work from like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Wednesdays. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not bad, but I cannot film. It's no. All right, and if you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here. Ooh, what to leave? How about an angel or a demon for The City in Glass? And otherwise, like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.